Hi, and thank you for joining me again on my channel. So it's been a year since I actually won a competition with Income School, where they came to my home here in the UK and spent 2 days in my home for around 10 hours a day, and they gave me some one-on-one tuition, and they totally revamped one of my niche websites that I just started. Now that was back in March 2019. We're now in May 2020. It's been over a year now, and I'm still getting asked questions on a daily basis through Facebook and through YouTube. How did it help me? What did they do for you? So I basically thought, right, well, let's get these questions answered. If you're new to my channel, you didn't know I'd won this competition, then you can certainly go check it out. I'll put a card up in the top corner now, and I'll leave a link in the description. It's quite a popular video. I think it's had around 15 or 20,000 views, something like that, over on Income School's channel, and you can go check that out over there. This is by no way a review of Project 24. There's some great reviews out there, and there's some positive reviews of their course, and there's obviously some negative reviews of their course, but I'm not here to do that. I'm not in any way trying to sell you their course. I just thought I'd share with you my experiences and if it's helped me, and what has it done generally and overall for my pursuit of a full-time passive income. So let's get into some of the questions. I've got them here, and these were taken from Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. But for now, let's get into the questions. So the first question I got was from Instagram, and it's from Alt478. Did you get the course for free? I did actually, but I didn't actually get the course till quite some time after they'd been to my home and done some work and done some coaching with me. It was a couple of months after that I'd not received it, and I kind of said to them, you know, can I get the course? Can I check it out? And they gave me the course, and I then started the course from there. I was already actually quite well into the process of becoming an affiliate marketer. I'd been doing it for around a year before they came to my house, and then it was a few months after they came out. So I'd probably been doing it for a year and a half before I actually got their course. But yes, I did end up getting the course for free, and I did complete all the steps within the course. The next question is from Little Miss J, and again, this is from Instagram. Did you complete all the steps within the course? I did, yeah. I didn't actually do them all in order in the, I think, 60 steps. I think the course is, I didn't do them all in order. Because I'd already been doing affiliate marketing for some time, some of the initial steps that they have within their course are obviously aimed towards very much beginners. So things like choosing a domain name or registering your website. I'd already done that, I'd already got past that. So some of those beginning steps I did actually kind of skip through, I'll be honest. But as I went through the course, I found it more and more helpful. And this next question is from Media K. Would you recommend the course for somebody who's already started a website? Well, so that depends on kind of the level at where you are and how advanced your skills are, or how advanced your website is. If you've already got a website that's getting, 100,000 page views and you're earning good money, then do you need a course? Probably not. But however, I think their course is really aimed, it's not aimed at beginners, but it certainly benefits beginners more, in my opinion. It's not to say that somebody like myself didn't get anything out of it, because I did, but I really think that the course is there and aimed towards beginners. A lot of people really slate kind of buying courses and say you don't need a course, you don't need a course to have a successful website. You don't, no, I agree with that. But the people are saying this are usually quite advanced. They've got the website, it's up and running, they're already seeing traffic, and they're just building up on that. So for people that are just starting out, don't even know how to buy a domain name, set up WordPress, put a theme on there, for those people in that kind of stage, then yeah, I mean, the course is absolutely beneficial and it can really help you out. But it's all going to depend on your level and where you are right at that moment. So this next question was from Twitter, and it's from, I love this name, Jesse in the house. What's the best thing about the Project 24 course? Well, I think the best thing is kind of the detail that they go into. Although it is step by step and you can follow it step by step, each kind of course module within the course is very detailed. So for instance, there's one just on buying a computer for somebody starting out and hasn't even got the right computer or doesn't know what laptop to use for editing. There's one in there that's a module called editing your first video or something like that, and it even showed you which computer to buy. Well, I just bought a new Mac, a new iMac, and I wasn't sure about the memory and the RAM. I'm not really brilliant with computers, and it showed you in there, even showed you which Mac to buy, which RAM you needed, and some top tips like, don't buy the extra RAM from Apple. It's cheaper to buy it from an external company off Amazon and just install it yourself, which I did. It saved me like $400. So all the courses and all the steps are very, very detailed, and even to an experienced affiliate marketer or somebody who's got a bit of skill and a bit of knowledge within building and designing websites, might seem quite trivial, but for some beginners and a lot of people, it's really helpful. And this next question is from Instagram again. It's from Mike1987 Forgotten. Do you have or use their theme that they supply or is available with their course? Acabado, I think it's called. No, I don't. I've never used it. I know a lot of people do. Some people saying it's super fast, really clean and simple. Some are saying it's too simple, too basic. So I can't really comment because I've not used it. I used Base WP on my current website, and I've also used Xtheme. I've changed to Base WP, I think it's called, because Xtheme was getting a little bit old, a little bit heavy. It used a lot of resources just for the theme. And as I've been putting more and more content on it, it seemed to get slower and slower. So I've changed now to a much lighter theme, and it seems to be working much better. So I haven't used Acabado. I do know people who have, and it looks fine. It looks okay. But I think some people are saying it has its limitations. But like I say, I've not used it, so I don't really want to comment. So this next question is from Twitter, from Misha Day. Would you be earning what you're earning now if you had not followed the Project 24 course? Yeah, I think I would have been earning the money that I'm earning now. I think I'd have just got there quicker. I think I spent about the first year just messing about my theme. I must have spent 4 months just putting a logo in the right place and making the colours look great. And I wish I'd have just got down to actually writing content. And I think that's what income schools say in a lot of their videos, and particularly kind of last couple of years. There's always this controversy of them saying, don't spend your time creating backlinks. Backlinks don't work and stuff. I don't think it actually quite meant that. I think what they mean is don't focus too much on a lot of the other things before you've got some content. Get the content out, get focusing on content, get focusing on traffic. Once you've got traffic, then you can focus on things like backlinks and stuff like that. But I think in the beginning, they're just really focused on the content side of it and getting some traffic. And I agree with that. Once you've got traffic, you can then monetize, you can create a more authoritative domain by going after backlinks and things. But first of all, you need the traffic, and to get traffic, you need the content. So I think I would have been earning the sort of money I am now, but like I said, I think I'd have been maybe a year ago, I'd have been earning the money that I'm earning now if I'd have followed their course from day one. And this next question's from Instagram. This is from Maria GB. Can you really make a full-time income in 24 months? It totally depends on your niche, really, and how competitive it is, and the quality of the content that you put out there. It's certainly doable to do in 24 months. In fact, it's probably doable in less than that. I'd say 18 months you could probably make a full-time income. But it just depends on the level that you are. I think if I started now a new website, could I get a brand new website from now to a full-time income in 18 months, maybe making $2,000-$3,000 a month? Yeah, I think I can. I think that's from the experience that I've had. Can you make a full-time income as a beginner using Project 24 from day one? Yeah, again, I think you can, but there's so many factors. The niche you're in, the competitiveness of the niche, the quality of the content, the amount of content you put on there. I certainly think it's changed in the way that Income School and Project 24 go about it. In the beginning, they would say put 30 articles on and then just leave it. I don't think you can do that now in 2020 and 2021. You certainly can't write 30 posts, leave it, and expect in 24 months to have a full-time income. I mean, unless you've been really lucky, you've nailed a brilliant niche that there's low competition and high search volume and high ticket items as well. It depends on your pricing point of the products you're selling. So it all depends on your niche for sure. And this comment is from Twitter, and this is from Stuart S. And it says, how long did you work with them and how long did they stay at your house? Well, they came to my house for 2 days. They didn't actually sleep in my house, by the way. They had a hotel. They arrived on the first day straight from the airport. So they flew straight into the airport, got a hire car and drove straight to my house. The next thing I knew, they were knocking on my door. If you watch the video, you can see Ricky knocking on the door and Jim filming. And I think they arrived about 9 a.m. And then they stayed on the first day till about 6 or 7 p.m. And I have to tell you, they are the most... I thought I was a workaholic. These guys were insane. I had it in my head that we would break off for lunch. I'd take them out to a local pub and would have a meal and a few drinks. There were none of that. They literally just sipped water. And I'm having 10 cups of tea and they're sipping water. And they just sat at a laptop. Each one had a laptop and they just worked on my site. Ricky was looking at the content and searching for keywords, where Jim was doing a lot of the theme, how the theme looked. He created a brand new logo for me, and they created an action plan of what I need to do and how I'm going to move forward. That was on the first day. On day 2, they turned up around 8 a.m. and didn't leave again till about 7. So it was 2 full days. And then at the end, we did a little bit of filming for the video, like I said, that's in the description. And that was fun to do. Very embarrassing with the wife and kids stood behind me watching it all. So this next question is again from Instagram. It's from 6698AK. And he or she said, what happened when they left your home? Jim mentioned in the video that something strange happened at the end of the night. Well, that was actually quite funny. I'd said at the end of day 2, we went up into the town centre to meet some Project 24 members from here in the UK. And there's about 30 people turned up. It was a great night. And at the end of the night, we said goodbye to everybody and I came home. Around midnight, I got a phone call from Jim saying they were stuck in the town centre and could I come and help them? So I drove down there to find that they'd got their car locked in the car park. They'd parked the car there around 7 o'clock that evening, went to the restaurant, paid for a parking for 24-hour parking, only to realise that the car park actually closed at 8 o'clock that night and it wasn't open till the next morning. Well, they had flights first thing in the early hours of the morning, so they couldn't get the car out and they actually missed their flights, which I was freaking out about. I was so embarrassed. I felt so sorry for them. To be honest, they just took it in the stride. They just booked 2 new tickets the next day and flew out. I think Jim managed to fly back out on his original ticket, but I think Ricky had to pay for another ticket and left sometime later that day. So it was okay in the end, but yeah, I was a bit embarrassed and I felt a bit sorry for him, to be honest. So this question is from Twitter and it's from Peter J. How's the website doing now? The one that they helped you grow? That website now originally was at 9,000 page views when they first came to my house. It's now at averages between 60 and 70,000 page views. And until recently, until the Google core update in May, which hit the website quite hard, it's now down to around high 50s, so 58, 60,000 page views a month. It was earning around $2,000 a month. It's now dropped to about $1,200-$1,300 a month, and that's because of number 1, the traffic's gone down, and number 2, advertising revenue, which this website is heavily focused on. The RPM, the earnings per 1,000 ads that are showing on my site, has really dropped to an all-time low, and that's obviously because of the pandemic we're going through at the minute, and it's mainly targeted in the US, and a lot of the companies within the US are closed, so they're not spending on advertising revenue. So yeah, so at its height, it was doing around 70-odd thousand page views and around $2,000 a month. And it's now just lost around 30% of that income overall. But I do expect that to pick up within the next couple of months. There's already some green shoots and some signs of recovery from the Google core update. I don't know why it hit my website. There's no spammy content on there. There's no duplicate content. It's not been hit with a penalty. It's all original posts. So I don't know why it hit. Who knows with Google, but it is starting to recover now. I mean, if you've been hit by this Google core update in May, if you're confident your website has got good quality content on, I'm sure it will pick up. And this question is from Instagram. It's from Justin49, and he says, "Did you go to America?" I didn't actually. When I won the competition, I was at work when I found out. Somebody emailed me and said, "You've won." And I was like, "I won what?" And they said, "You've won the income school competition." I didn't even know I'd entered. It was basically if you commented on some videos, they randomly drew your name out, and I'd literally commented on every video they've ever done, so I had a good chance of winning. And I was running around the canteen at work, just delighted. But I didn't actually know what I'd won until I'd finished my shift, come home and watched the video. And then it says, we're going to fly Carl out to the USA, and I thought, wow, I'm going to get a trip to America for free. And it turned out, between the two of us, between our work schedules, it was actually better for them to come over here because I was working full time, and also they had a lot of Project 24 members in the UK that they were never really going to get a chance to visit and see personally. So it was a good opportunity for them not only to come over here and do the one-on-one coaching with me, but also to catch up with those members. So we did, at the end of day 2, we had a bit of a party and a meet-up, and we got to meet around 20 or 30 people from all over the UK, Ireland. Some even flew in from like Belgium. It was brilliant to meet some people. A lot of these are questions from these people, and it's great that I'm still in touch with a lot of them. And this question is from Paul Stone 12 from Instagram, and Paul says, have you seen them since? So I've not seen them in person. I have emailed them regularly. Ricky particularly keeps in contact with me quite a bit, and I've actually done some videos for their new channels about how starting YouTube channels and things like that could be the future, and certainly good for diversifying your affiliate income. So I've done a few videos on that with them, and I hope to do more in the future. But yeah, I'm certainly in touch with them. Ricky and Jim both reply to my emails, and I talk to them in the Project 24 forum as well. And the last question from Instagram before I jump over to the Facebook ones, and this is probably one of the best names I've seen, Duck Gone. Duck Gone says, is Project 24 still relevant in 2020? I think maybe their original first course that they brought out, maybe not. The one where they suggested that you produce 30 pieces of content, sit and leave it, and don't focus on backlinks. I think that one isn't so relevant 2020, 2021. I certainly think you need to produce more content. I'm seeing that on my websites now. I certainly need more than 30 articles on there to earn a full-time income. Unless you nail a fantastic niche, low competition, high ticket items, then maybe not. There are some websites obviously that do make a really good income from less than 30 pages, but it is rare. I'm seeing now that I'm having to put 100 articles, 150 articles on, really well optimized articles, really targeted at low competition keywords, and also getting some backlinks on there. And I certainly think their course now has evolved and it's changing. They're heading towards the video aspect and the video side of it. So YouTube, embedding videos on your website, so you can get ad revenue from videos nowadays. I certainly think they're changing their course, which is great. I mean, I'm glad they're not sticking with the same original course and just leaving it, not updating it. They're honest in saying that if something changes and the marketplace changes, then they adapt and they change. They don't sit back and take your money and just leave you with a course that's outdated and not relevant for 2020. They've certainly changed and it's updated. I think it's updated twice since I've had it, and it's currently going through a major overhaul at the minute, leaning more towards video and trying to get snippets and video searches in the results. So yeah, I think it is still relevant, and I think if you buy the course now or in 2021, I think the course that you'll get will be relevant for the time period that you're in. So yeah, I certainly still do recommend it. Okay, so we'll head over to Facebook now and have a look at some of these questions. So one from Dana, a regular in WP Eagles live stream. She says, how did you tell your wife and 2 kids 2 strangers was coming over from the US to visit your house? To be honest, I think she already knew them. I used to talk a lot about them. I watched their videos. When I watch videos on my phone, I stream it over to my TV in the living room. So she was always seeing them. When I won the course, Income School was probably at the height of their popularity. So yeah, she was used to seeing them on the screen, so she kind of knew the war then. I did have to explain, obviously, and it was looking at, she was working at the time, the kids were at school, so we got the house to ourselves. Although the kids and the wife did come home at around 5 o'clock each day to find Ricky and Jim there, and it was only embarrassing on the final day where they wanted to do some filming, and we had all the children and the wife holding up lights, spotlights and everything, trying to get some light into the living room. That was quite funny and quite embarrassing. So, but yet she didn't mind. So his next question again is from Facebook. This is from Adam Kirk. Adam says, I'd like to know what were the most useful and the least useful piece of advice those guys gave you. The most useful, I think, was building the website and the content around the strategy rather than just going at it any old how. I was in the mindset of kind of just throwing content out there. It didn't matter if it had search volume, didn't matter if it was ranking, just write content that I thought it needed and just throw it out there. And I probably wasted about 100 articles. There's about 350 on there at the minute. I probably wasted about 100 articles that are never really going to rank or never really going to bring in traffic. So I wish I'd have been a little bit more strategic and put a little bit more thought into the traffic and the articles that I put on there from day one. So they gave me a spreadsheet and they gave me kind of topics to go after as soon as they left the house, and they were the first ones I wrote, and they're doing really well. And then I've built on that spreadsheet from there on end. So any content that I put on there now, I make sure is very targeted, SEO focused, keyword focused, and I make sure I'm not wasting any money and time on writing content that's not really going to add any value to the website or bring in any traffic. And the least useful bit of advice, I think it's kind of not advice that they gave me, it's probably advice that they didn't, and that's on the backlinks, which I know with Income School is a topic of contention between other YouTubers and stuff, saying that, you know, Income School say don't build backlinks, and I don't think that's true. I think they know how beneficial backlinks are to a website. I just don't think they like to go out chasing the backlinks. I think rather than spend your time getting backlinks, they prefer you to write content. However, if you can afford to pay somebody to get you good quality, secure backlinks, I don't think they'd see a problem with that. I think they realise that it does add benefit to your website and just strengthen your website and increase your domain authority. I just don't think they like you spending your personal time going out there and getting the backlinks. Now, I didn't really challenge them on that because at that point I didn't really know how relevant backlinks were. And I just wish from day one I'd have focused on getting some backlinks a bit more. I've let the site naturally get some backlinks and it's got around 250 backlinks, something like that. But nowadays, especially since this latest core update from Google, that I realise backlinks are playing a really strong part in it at the moment. I have websites that's got much inferior content to mine ranking way above me simply because they've got 4 or 5 backlinks to that article. And I think it's more relevant these days that each individual article has the backlinks rather than your homepage. So if I'm trying to rank one article and I've got 0 backlinks, but I've got a fantastic article, and I'm going after an article that's very poorly written, but sitting at number 1 because it's got several backlinks to it, I can't compete with it at the moment. So I wish I'd have gone after more backlinks right at the beginning, but again, they didn't tell me not to. It just wasn't a topic of conversation that ever came up with them. So this next question again is from Facebook, Jim Harris, and Jim says, what was the most surprising thing they told you? The most surprising thing was the revenue that my competitor was making. So they did an analysis on my competitor, and I wanted to kind of prove to myself that the niche I was in could provide a full-time income. And also I wanted to prove to my wife, who thought, you know, all this stuff is pie in the sky and, you know, fantasy stuff. And they did an analysis on my competitor, which at that time was getting around 700,000 page views. His website had only been up and running for around 4 years, but he has a very strong backlink profile on it. And with ad revenue and affiliate sales from 700,000, they estimated that his website was earning between $20,000 and $30,000 a month. So that was the biggest surprise to me. I was hoping that, you know, my website could earn a couple of $1,000s, but they said that quite clearly, categorically, that my website could eventually earn definitely $10,000-$20,000, and if I could take that number one spot off my competitor, could earn even more. So yeah, that was definitely a surprise to me. And the second question is from Jim again. Just put 2 questions in the chat, and he's put, what would you have paid for the course in hindsight? AKA like pay what you feel. Well, I certainly feel that their course is worth $400 and whatever dollars it is, $450 I think it is. It's certainly for a beginner to pay $400. It's a lot of money to outlay up front. And yes, you can find out all information on the website for free. Yes, you can build a website for free, but you'll get there far faster using their course. That is without a shadow of a doubt. You'll spend a month or two just getting a domain name, a theme, setting the settings on the theme, putting the logo on there. You'll spend 2-3 months just doing that. Well, if you follow their course, you'll be done in a week or two, just following their first steps. So is it worth $449? Yeah, absolutely it is. Is it worth somebody like yourself or me, who's possibly more advanced, spending $440 on it? Maybe not. I'll be honest. Would I buy their course right here, right now, the level of level I'm at? No, I wouldn't. I don't need it. But did I need it before I met them, or kind of on day one of my affiliate journey? Yeah, I did. And that's what I say. I'd have been so much further on. I'd have been about a year on if I'd have followed their course right at the beginning. Plus, if you compare their course with some others out there that are $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, and I'm not slating them courses, that I've not bought them, so I don't know whether they're worth the money, but I would guess that they're probably more advanced and more deep diving courses for maybe somebody who's more advanced and wants to take it to that next level, and hence it's worth the $2,000 or $3,000. Then fine, like I say, I've not tried them courses, I can't comment. But yeah, I certainly think Project 24 course for $449. Yeah, I've wasted that on articles 10 times over, which I wouldn't have done if I'd have listened to their course advice. And this question again is from Facebook, and this is from Steve Robertson. Steve says, how can Income School help us low-income affiliate marketers? I think the way they'll help you is by pushing you to kind of get out of your comfort zone, pushing you to do video content, pushing you to try new things. And as the market develops and as your niche changes and affiliate marketing changes, they'll react to that, and they'll also kind of push you into the next steps to be brave. So, if Amazon do eventually cut their whole affiliate program, they will push you into finding independent affiliates, companies and products you can use, and they'll push you towards YouTube. And it really does sometimes take somebody to say that you need to do this or you're not going to succeed. And I think that's where it'll really help anybody who's kind of on the lower level of the income. And also with monetizing, they'll really help you. Within the course is some great information on monetization. If you think you know how to monetize your site and you're relying on ads and Amazon, then you're wrong. There's so much more you can do. I've just gone into selling private advertising space for one of my website, and I'm now earning $500 for one little advert on my website. I'd have never done that if I'd not read one of their modules within their course. I'd have never reached out to multi-million-pound companies within my niche because I thought they'd never listen to me. But do you know what? One of them actually did. They jumped at it when they saw my website and my target audience. They jumped on it and offered $500 for an advert for a month. That was like almost half what I'm earning across all the adverts on every page of my website per month. I'm earning half of that from one little advert. So again, I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for their course. So this question is from Steve Bell, and Steve says, Carl, if there was one piece of advice that you feel could help someone, what would it be? Their advice or my advice? So if it was their advice, I think it would be video content. It certainly helps out, and I'm not talking about making a YouTube channel. I can use video content within your blog, within your website. Advertising space now is also being sold not only within context, the banners that pop up and annoy everybody. It's not only coming through as that. Advertising space is now being sold on video content. So if you've got a travel site and you write a blog, let's say about visiting Las Vegas, you create a video all around Las Vegas. you embed that within your content. You can then sell advertising space within that video, and it earns so much more compared to in context native ads. So certainly that's one thing you could do. And Steve, if it would be advice from me you're after, I would say push the boundaries a little bit more within your niche. Don't narrow it down now too much. Narrowing down your niche in 2018, 2019 was vital. I think now a lot more websites have the possibility and the chance of broadening their niche a little bit, and don't be too afraid to try and venture slightly out of your niche, but always check your results, and if you see some results, then jump on that and produce 10, 15 pieces of content around that. It's very difficult to rank some articles at the minute, but it's also super fast to rank some. So some of the articles you can just nail, and that topic fits your niche, then jump on it and go at it, give it 100% while it's ranking well. It may drop off, it may change, but certainly while you find a little sector within your niche that's doing well, capitalize on it and capitalize quick on it. So a brief overall view, the website that they helped me develop is now around 50, 60,000, topping out around 70,000 at the minute. I have a ton of new content on there, so I quite easily expect that to top 100,000 page views within the next couple of months. It earns between the lowest it's ever earned in the last 6 months is around $1,400 a month, and the highest it's earned was about $2,500, and that's just growing day on day. It's about 2-year-old in general is the site, but like I say, it's been a year since Income School worked their magic on it and helped me and set me on the right path. I have left my affiliate link in the description below. I am an affiliate marketer after all, and yes, I will earn a commission if you buy their Project 24 course from me, so I do appreciate that. But like I say, don't feel you have to use it in any way, shape or form. Head over to their website and just buy the course from there, or read up about it if you wish. One really good thing about their course, which I do need to mention, is their forum. Their Project 24 forum is amazing. There's a few thousand people in there at the minute. If you ever get stuck with your website, or you're worried about everything, or you need any advice, there's some great people in there that offer you some help. And Ricky and Jim do go in there and they do comment as well. So it is really good. I mean, it's probably worth half the money just to be a member of that forum. I've received tons of help, and I found some writers on there, and there's lots of people on there that will help you out. So there you go, guys. Hope you like that catch up of the Project 24 guys when they visited my home. Certainly I wouldn't be where I am now without the help of them and the help of other people as well. Big shout out to Alex over at WP Eagle as well, and there's lots of guys out there that's helped me out, and they were certainly one of them. So thanks for joining me on my channel again, and I'll see you in the next video.